Good morning. My name is Craig Rollins. In addition to being a grandfather, great-grandfather, I also enjoy retirement and mastering of violin. I particularly enjoyed Mary's comments. She brings new meaning to what my dad used to talk about in geotech. He said that it is a combination of science and art, and I think she brought new meaning to that, which I appreciate. Thank you very much, Mary. I lived in Portland area for a number of years, and so I appreciated Diane's work. Portland is an absolutely gorgeous area, and I know that our community there will be benefited by her work. I should tell you that our family comes from a geotech background. As I mentioned, my dad, Ralph Rollins, was a geotechnical professor at BYU and operated a consulting firm. My brothers all worked for Dad, as did all of my children, excepting one. My daughter is a graduate from Civil Engineering Department at BYU. When we worked there, we did all the typical tests in the lab, proctors, even pile tests, Atterberg limits. When I would have idle time, well, I never had idle time working in the lab, but when I would be doing Atterberg limits, I found it helpful to figure out how I could compete and win if there was an international Atterberg limit test. And so I set my own record, 13 Atterberg limits in 1 hour. Has anybody else done that, huh? Anyway, as I mentioned, Dad felt that science, that geotech was a combination of science and art. Music, similarly, is a combination of art and science, having to do with the musical theory and the technical proficiency that is required to deliver excellence in a performance. But today I'm going to talk a little bit about an experience I had as a young man. And I'd like to tell you the story of 5 young musicians from Utah who had a big dream. They set their sights on winning a national battle of the bands where the prize wasn't just a trophy, but a big shot at big-time performance, fame on a world stage, a recording contract, top-of-the-line musical equipment, and appearances on television and in concert halls across the country. What started as a dream for us, shared by 5 passionate musicians, would soon become an unforgettable journey of talent, determination, and a little Utah grit. The Battle of the Bands was just, we have Battle of the Bands today, but back then it was a much bigger deal. It was sponsored by the Junior Chamber of Commerce International, more commonly known as JCs. This was a national organization focused on helping youth in their leadership and community service, and they were great people. They provided not only a wonderful venue for us to perform, but an all-expense-paid trip to Boston when we participated in the national battle. That Battle of the Bands might be likened unto what we now have as America's Got Talent or The Voice or American Idol on TV. The competition drew tremendous participation with over 1,100 bands. It was the national battle or finals were held in Massachusetts, and we competed before a panel of music experts and industry executives, including some of you closet garage band performers will recognize the name of Les Paul. Les Paul was the father of the modern electric guitar, and he was one of our judges. Performances were judged on musical ability, originality, stage presence, appearance, and crowd reaction. So it was truly a test not only of talent, but also of showmanship. Now, this is us. I was 17 up in the upper right-hand corner, and that's my violin. We represented the Provo-Orem area in the battle, and not only did we have a passion for music, but we loved performing, and that passion continues in my life today. One of the prizes we won was a recording contract. This is a photo of us. We auditioned after we won the battle with Capitol, Columbia, A&R, and Deckard record companies, and this was our first single. It was a Billboard Top 30 hit, I Wonder Why, that my brother and I wrote. The other thing that was a big deal for us with just kids back in those days is we had an appearance on the Mike Douglas show. Now, that would probably be akin to, Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon in today's. But that was a huge, that was a big deal, and it was really fun to be on TV. Our high school in Orem had the whole school, the whole student body with TVs to watch that performance. And we announced that we lived in Orem, but we announced, nobody knew where Orem was, okay? But when we announced it, we said we were from Provo, Utah, and they all just like, oh, like that, So it was kind of interesting. I want to tell you just a little bit. In 1967, this is lessons learned. I'm going to start by saying in 1967, most bands stuck to the familiar formula of electric guitars, drums, organ, and vocals. But our father, or our drummer's father, Byron Jensen, now the two things I'm going to highlight here, sorry to bounce around a little bit, is that mentoring makes a difference. And that it's important for us to dare to do something very different. Our drummer's father was a gifted musician, Byron Jensen. Byron played piano, and he was our mentor. And we found that was so extremely important, not only in helping us in this setting, but when we didn't have one after we won the Battle of the Bands, it had a huge impact on our ability to really be successful. Byron had a very bold idea. He said, why not try something almost unheard of in the music industry, and that would be that a rock band would play Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata straight. Now that music was written by Beethoven in 1801, and a tremendous departure from the kind of music that we would play as a rock band. Byron knew of our classical background, and he used that and composed an arrangement for us that features our bassist on saxophone and me on violin. So we did something totally unexpected. We ripped through Roll Over Beethoven, written by Chuck Berry, covered by, I don't know, thousands of bands, written in 1956, without missing a beat, slipped straight into a Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. That unlikely pairing brought the house to its feet, and I'm pretty sure it's what won us the Battle of the Bands. The other thing that I should say, let me back up just a moment, that I always thought was cool. This is a picture of me playing. After we won the Battle of the Bands, Life magazine, some of you may remember that, probably the premier magazine in the United States anyway, took this picture, and this is me playing my violin. When we would move from the rock stuff to the classical music, I just flipped my guitar on my back, and then I would play my fiddle, which was really cool. Now, I'm hoping that our sound guys have got this set up. I wanted you to hear just a little bit of some of the live recording and that transition from Roll Over Beethoven to the Moonlight Sonata.
Roll it over and move on up, just roll and reel and rock it. Roll over Beethoven, rocking it 2 by 2.
Substantial departure, right? So a little bit of it. That was live in 1967. They didn't mic all the amps either, so actually not too bad. Thank you. Thank you. So mentoring was crucial, and then the willingness to dare to be different were key. The next couple of things that I took away, or that we took away from that competition, was the fact that adversity can really fuel our success. And that happens, I know, in all of our lives, but it did for us in this competition as well. And then finally, that perseverance prevails. The gents entered 2 Battle of the Bands competitions in 2 different cities in Utah County. The first, in the neighboring town, we won, which was cool. The second was in our own hometown, and we lost. Totally blew us away. We were absolutely stunned because we thought we were the best band, certainly in the county, if not in the state. Anyway, none of us saw that coming. And so we had a choice. We could have folded, or we could have come back stronger. And we chose the latter. We determined to win the state competition. We built a high-energy 12-minute set complete with choreography, dance steps, and constant movement. We even invited our violin teacher to come and critique our performance. He inspired us and gave us some tips which we implemented, inspired by the idea later popularized by Malcolm Gladwell that mastery comes through relentless practice. We rehearsed that set for 2 to 3 hours every night for a month. By the time we stepped onto the stage at the state competition, we knew that performance so well we could have played it upside down, backwards, perhaps even in our sleep. So this was the second. To summarize, lessons that we learned. It's important for us to be bold enough to do something different. We need to be tough because adversity will come, and when it does, we need to be able to bounce back. And finally, we learned that that we needed to be disciplined enough to outwork the competition, which we did. Thank you very much for listening to my story and taking me on a journey through memory lane. Thank you.